Welcome back, traders. MACD Master here. We're Saturday, November 1st, roughly about 1 p.m. here on the West Coast. A little update video on my Bitcoin shorts, as well as exposing one of the TradingView trolls who actually came out to my YouTube channel to try and embarrass me. And he's gone from a bull to a bear. Imagine that. Anyways, let's jump right into it and take a look at the daily Bitcoin chart. I had an old-time follower. As I said, I've spent like 9.5 years on YouTube warning of this New World Order agenda, the stock market crashes, the rise of gold and silver, yada yada. We can get into that another time. In fact, the pandemic, the Agenda 21 pandemic, I was one of those fools on YouTube, spent 9.5 years warning about the pandemic. Long story short, this lady sent me an email and she says, do you think this will break out again to 133,000? I don't think so. She says, do you think it'll rise up to, what did you say? I think 115,000. It's a possibility. And if it does, this would be at the top of my wedge here. You look over, 115,630 at the top of that wedge. I hope so, because as I said to her, if it does, I'll be shorting it again. So that's what these are. These green lines are all the shorts here. You can see it better on a weekly. So these are all the times I've short during that. Sorry, this is not a weekly, this is a monthly. And we've just closed that month. This is the whole point of this video, to tell you guys that don't pay attention to the small time frames. As I've said in the previous video, we're looking for a longer play here. We're not scalpers, we're not swing traders. We're people that believe that Bitcoin has reached the top and it's about to drop. Again, if you're new around here, this is not financial advice, it's not trading advice. I'm just sharing sharing with you guys how I see the charts and what I believe will take place. So getting back here to the daily chart, I measured the which I call the flagpole, and that would be the top of the flag here and the bottom of the flag here, and this would be a bearish flag, obviously. And so this is the flagpole here. As you can see, it fits right about here. Okay, I bring it down to about the middle of the wedge, and it brings us down to what price range? Yeah, 94K. Isn't that interesting that we have all these YouTubers who are now calling for that 94K pullback? All right, so what else here? Another big thing, as I've said on TradingView many times, again, before they banned me, I used to tell people all the time, keep an eye out for shooting stars. This would be this candlestick and this candlestick. These are definitely shooting stars on a monthly chart. Very, very important. And one of the other things I was telling everyone, keep an eye out for the shooting star, okay? But look especially for the volume. So let's look below here, and I'll drag the chart all the way back to the beginning of 2025 to the very first candle here. You can see on the bottom left hand side of your screen. So that was the bottom, 2025. Look at the height of the volume, lots of volume there. And thereafter, yeah, big sellers, kerplunk, again, dwindle down the entire year, which is somebody who's been holding a Bitcoin for a couple of years said, she says, you know, I'm really disappointed with Bitcoin in 2025. We really haven't done anything. Yeah, that's because if you saw my previous video, I was telling you, these guys have been dumping it. And I've got the evidence. We can show that in another video. I might even post the links down below in the comments section, showing you how these large whales have been dumping Bitcoin ever since the beginning of June. So as you can see on that monthly, we just closed that candle. Look at the volume compared to everything else in 2025. That's very heavy volume with a shooting star. I'm almost 100% sure that that was the top at 127K, and I'll be known for having shorting it at the top before the big drop. Okay, you want more proof? Well, this is the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map. And as I pointed out to the young lady who sent me the email, I said, there are so many sellers up above 111,000. You can see it over here on the right. This is in the billions. In the billions. There's just no way there's enough leverage out there. Remember, we had, was it 19.3 billion liquidated on that first drop. That money's gone. Those people aren't coming back out here. They've lost their money. They're not coming back. So I believe here there's a wall of sellers waiting, and I don't believe Bitcoin's going to get above that whole area. As you can see, it just gets higher as you get closer to 112,000. So yeah, not very good. Now I want to share with you another interesting visual Bitcoin map, and that's the Bitcoin monthly return. So this goes all the way back, as you can see from the bottom, from 2013. And I don't really pay attention too much to these rallies because it was a very limited amount of people that were actually into Bitcoin. Even in 2017, 2018, very few people back then were into Bitcoin. Very few. Anyways, I'm still sharing the data with you, and you can see on the far right of that chart, it shows you October red. We just closed red. I marked the November, December red because that's, I believe, the way we're going. So on average, as you can see, every time Bitcoin has closed in the green as far as returns for the month of October, it usually rose up for the November and December, except a few times you can see it didn't. And I believe what we're going to do is, what we're going to see is a replay of what happened in the 2018 rally when it suddenly flipped. We're going to see things going south here for the month of December. At least that's what I think is coming, and I'm not alone, because if you take a look at the articles that are coming out, you know, this is Bitcoin miners, and they're what? They've dumped. How much? Well, you can see it works out to $5.6 billion. 5.6. Yeah, I don't think this is going anywhere. So this is the end of this video as far as my Bitcoin play. I'm still in the short. If it breaks out above the 115 or even gets close to breaking out, I'll look at the charts. I'll close those shorts and I'll take profit, whatever's there, and I'll wait for it to break out again and I'll short it again, because to me, Bitcoin is finito. We finished the 4-year cycle, which I showed in previous videos. So let's get into this TradingView lying scammer. So not only has this guy lied about me, but he has the audacity to come out on my YouTube channel and try to pump more bullshit. So there he is up there, him and his wife. I hope that's not his wife. That'd be really ridiculous to put his wife up there. But yeah, that's, I guess it's his girlfriend. She doesn't know what he's saying on YouTube and shit, but whatever. He tried to say that my triangle call last night had failed. Well, what it was actually a bull trap. And everyone who bought it, they're in the red. They're already holding a red position. Now, what's really interesting, this guy went from lying about me, what I've said in TradingView, to coming out here on YouTube and attacking me 3 days ago. And then I go see him on TradingView today, and what is he saying? Unbelievable. He says, my eyes are set on 24K. No way! So he went from a bullshitter telling him it was going up to, I think he said 130. He was one of those pumpers out in TradingView, to suddenly, 24K. That's just me. And he's lying again. It's not me. It's not him. It's me that said it in the TradingView chat. In fact, I think there's another trader, another honest person out there who made the same call. And oddly enough, I believe it was last week where social media guy, what's his name? Stu Peters came out and said Bitcoin's dropping to 24K. Now remember, Stu Peters is not a technical analyst. He's actually a 33rd degree Freemason. We can get into that in another video. I've been exposing these clowns that are all controlling the social media atmosphere as nothing but gatekeepers. Anyways, just want to share with you how the clown who was all bull last week, for the last 3 weeks, in fact, calling me a liar, can't read charts, yada, 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 has now flipped, and now he's looking for a 24K. What a joke. Ciao for now.